Top 10 Netflix Horror Movies. Hey guys, welcome to your entertainment channel, Netflix Tops, where we will tell you about the top-rated movies and series on Netflix. So grab your popcorn and stay with us till the end of this video, because in today's video, we are going to list the top 10 Netflix horror movies. So, let's get started. Number 10. A 2021 American slasher film directed by David Gordon Green is titled Halloween Kills. The film has grossed over $131 million worldwide and received mixed reviews from critics, who praised the creative kills and performances. Minutes after Laurie Strode, her daughter Karyn, and granddaughter Allison left masked monster Michael Myers caged and burning in Laurie's basement, Laurie is rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, believing she finally killed her lifelong tormentor. But when Michael manages to free himself from Laurie's trap, his ritual bloodbath resumes. As Laurie fights her pain and prepares to defend herself against him, she inspires all of Haddonfield to rise up against their unstoppable monster. The Strode women join a group of other survivors of Michael's first rampage, who decide to take matters into their own hands, forming a vigilante mob that sets out to hunt Michael down once and for all. Number 9. For a lot of people, the scariest thing to do in life is not occult rituals or being lost and frightened in the wilderness, but it is having to go to dinner parties with people they don't like. The Invitation is a 2015 American horror film directed by Karyn. This seems to be the genesis behind the film, which follows Will and his new girlfriend Kira as they attend a dinner party hosted by Will's ex-wife Eden and her new boyfriend. Will and Eden were once a loving couple. After a tragedy took their son, Eden disappeared. 2 years later, out of the blue, she returned with a new husband, and as a different person who is very eager to reunite with her ex and those she left behind. Over the course of a dinner party in the house that was once his, the haunted Will is gripped by mounting evidence that Eden and her new friends have a mysterious and terrifying agenda. This movie might make you a little paranoid at your next dinner party. Number 8. Written and directed by Anthony Scott Burns, Come True is a Canadian science fiction horror film. The film plot follows a teenage runaway who takes part in a sleep study that becomes a nightmarish descent into the depths of her mind and a frightening examination of the power of dreams. High school student Sarah is at her lowest point when she runs away from home and finds herself with no one to rely on, and struggling with reoccurring nightmares. She chances upon a university sleep study that offers the promise of safety and money, and which also brings her an unexpected friend and confidant in the overseeing scientist, Jeremy. But there is something curious about proceedings, and being under observation seems to make Sarah's disturbing dreams even worse. As the darkness begins to close in, it's soon clear that Sarah has unknowingly become the conduit to a horrifying new discovery. Number 7. Veronica is a 2017 Spanish supernatural horror film directed by Paco Plaza, and it boasts a wonderful and intense lead performance from Sandra Incancina. It is loosely based on a true events from the 1991 Veleses case, where Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro dies mysteriously after she used a Ouija board. Victoria is a teenage girl surpassed by the circumstances after her father died recently, and her mother works in a bar all day, and she takes care for her 3 siblings, twin girls Lucia and Irene, and youngest Antonito. Still mourning her father's death, Victoria decides to play Ouija with her friends Rosa and Diana. Alone in the cellar, the girls try to contact their recent deceased family members, but the session goes wrong and something happens to Victoria. After that, she starts to feel a strange presence inside the house and fears that these ghosts are a threat to her siblings. Advised by Sister Narcisa about the sinister spirit, which is close to her, Victoria looks for a way to break the contact with the ghost. Number 6. Based on the Stephen King's 1992 novel from the same title, Gerald's Game, is a 2017 crime thriller film directed and edited by Mike Flanagan, which was long thought to be unfilmable. The movie tells the story of a woman who accidentally kills her husband during a kinky game. Handcuffed to her bed with no hope of rescue, she begins hearing voices and seeing strange visions. So a harmless game between a married couple in a remote retreat suddenly becomes a harrowing fight for survival. So in order to escape, Jessie must confront long-buried demons within her own mind, and possibly lurking in the shadows of her seemingly empty house. Number 5. Malevolent is a 2018 British horror film directed by Olaf de Fleur Johannesson. The film centers on a team of scam artists who are making money from faked paranormal encounters. During an assignment at a country house, the team gets more than they bargained for, and one by one, they begin to lose grip on reality. Siblings Jackson and Angela run a profitable ghost-busting business, swindling the bereaved with fake detection equipment and Angela's paranormal visions. They are hired to investigate a haunted old foster home, where the team uncovers a terrifying past about young girls brutally slaughtered and their mouths stitched shut, silenced by a sadistic killer. Caught up between all this, Angela is on the edge with sleepless nights and losing her mind. She also no longer is certain what's actually real and is convinced that she hears the girls crying out to her from the darkness. But supernatural terrors are the least of their problems when they discover the very real evil lurking in the isolated house. Number 4. The classic-style movie Poltergeist is a 1982 American supernatural horror film directed by Tobe Hooper. The film focuses on a suburban family whose home is invaded by a malevolent ghost that abducts their daughter. The movie tells the story of a young family who are visited by ghosts in their home. At first, the ghosts appear friendly, moving objects around the house to the amusement of everyone. Then, they turn nasty and start to terrorize the family before they kidnap their youngest daughter. And that roots the movie in the sense of reality that still reaches out and grabs you. Apart from that, you will find plenty of things to love about the movie, including the scares, skeletons in the muddy earth, and the creepy clown doll. Number 3. Sweetheart is a 2019 American survival horror film directed by J.D. Dillard. Sweetheart blends survival horror and monster movie tropes to create a small but effective supernatural thriller, resting upon the shoulders of Kiersey Clemons' superb performance, delivering a crafty one-girl show. Sweetheart tells the story of Jennifer, a woman who washes up on an unseemingly deserted island after a storm. The island appears to have plenty of food, resources, and shelter, but there are also indications that other people have also washed away on this island before. As Jennifer explores the island, the film is dialogue-free, and instead, Sweetheart heavily relies on her exceptional physical acting when she finds out that she is not alone on that island. Number 2. Based on the 2011 novel of the same name by Adam Neville, The Ritual is a 2017 British horror film directed by David Bruckner. The film follows the story of 4 colleagues to reunite after the tragic death of their friend to hike through the Scandinavian wilderness, but their trip turns into a big nightmare. A group of friends reunite after a long time to plan a vacation, and they finally decide to go on a hiking trip in Sweden. When one of them is injured on the way, they have no choice but to cut through the forest in order to arrive at the lodge a couple of hours sooner. A wrong turn leads them into the mysterious woods of Norse legend, where a storm comes out of nowhere, and during a raging rainstorm, they spend the night in a spooky, abandoned house, where an ancient evil exists and stalks them at every turn. After that, what awaits them are things they would never expect out of this supposedly bonding trip. Number 1. Based on the original screenplay by Ben Collins and Luke Petrosky, The Night House is a 2021 psychological horror film directed by David Bruckner. It stars Rebecca Hall as a widow who discovers a dark secret about the house her late architect husband built. It is a wholly terrifying movie, which starts after Beth lost her husband and left behind a lakeside house, which her husband built for her. She tries to keep her sanity, but her dreams keep bothering her with memories of his presence. When her friends advise her to move out, she begins to dig into her husband's belongings, looking for answers, and encounters a paranormal presence that she never thought her husband was involved in. And this brings us to the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way. And thank you for watching.